Hey y'all, welcome to the channel, and I guess I should say welcome back to YouTube. It's been a year since my last upload, and it was on the same exact topic, SHOT Show 2023. Now we're talking about 2024, the guns I saw and what I'm really excited about. Real quick, let's talk about the reason for a year between uploads. The reality is, after SHOT Show last year, my life and work got incredibly busy. If you don't know this, I actually work for Cabot Guns in the sales and marketing. I'm the director of sales and marketing, and also work on the side of developing new models. Spent the last year working on Insurrection, which is our entry into the double stack 1911 market from Cabot Guns. Go over to the Cabot channel if you want to hear me talk about this pistol. I'm not going to talk about it here, but other than to say it is a fabulous gun. So this took up the last year of my time, and it was very, very intense to go from, concepts, different prototypes. It was actually a 2-year process, but the last year was the most intense part to bring it to market. So that's where I've been for the last year. So going forward, as far as time's concerned, this is a very part-time thing that I do. It's not for money. It's really just for fun, making videos on YouTube on my own channel. And if I make them, they will be very, very short if possible. Not going to do a lot of video and audio overlays. It's just going to be boom, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what I think, to the point. Really just informative and probably less entertaining because I just don't have time. Videos take forever. So it's really interesting though, speaking about 2011s, which is a double stack 1911 that uses the original STI pattern style of lower with a 2-piece frame and grip module. Because if you thought SHOT 2023 was the coming of the 2011s, everybody releasing a 2011, well, the dam broke and 2024 was really where it was at. So obviously Cabot, we released ours, but there are so many different versions of a double stack 1911 or 1911-ish pistol reaching the market that it was really a sea of them. Now, because I work for a company that builds 1911 and 2011s, I'm going to stay away from that topic altogether. There are plenty of other channels that will cover them, whether they're good, bad, or otherwise. If I ever talk about a 1911 in the future from another company, it's only going to be positive. If I don't like something, I'm just not going to say it because, well, that's part of the deal of working in the industry. You see these people at SHOT Show, and you don't want to say things that are, rude. We want to be supportive of each other as much as possible, except if you look at Eli, he will go hard at Glock as often as possible, but they're Glock, so that's that. So anyway, I won't be talking about 1911s or 2011s in the future, only under the most positive circumstances. But let's do a SHOT Show recap, basically from 23 to 24. Outside of 1911s and 2011s, what did I see this year? Not much. The industry has seen a lot of just small iterations moving forward. There was nothing that really knocked my socks off. And what's interesting is SHOT Show, there are a lot of things that come to the show that are just prototypes in a rough stage. So whenever something comes to a show that's a prototype, with a release date, take it with a grain of salt. And going all the way back to the show before, I'll link to the video of what I reviewed last year. A good example is the Oracle Arms 2311. They brought it to the show last year, saying it was going to be released in summer. I was looking at it, looking at the stages of where the prototypes were, and I thought they were going to have a really tough time of making that happen. So we're just now really seeing the 2311s coming into the market, and there's a lot of reviews on them out there. So just know, any of these review dates are subject to change. So what did I see at SHOT Show that I actually found interesting? Like I said, not much. I'm becoming a FUD in my old age. I'll talk about what I really liked, which is the show after SHOT Show, the Antique Arms Show, in just a second. But I do have a few things that I wanted to talk about. First off is the Beretta Tomcat in 32 ACP. Very, very cool little pistol. I am becoming more and more a fan of pocket pistols. Now, I did a video a little while back about why I'm ditching subcompacts. And the reality is, subcompact 9mm pistols, I am ditching. I don't have any of them anymore because they just don't really make sense to me. If I'm going to carry a 9mm pistol, I carry a compact, like 4¼ inch barrel or bigger, because I want capacity, but also the ability to really put rounds on target. If I'm super ultra concerned about concealability, I might go with a smaller caliber than 9mm, and the Beretta Tomcat is very, very cool. It's in 32 ACP. Very small, lightweight pistol. It has a tilt barrel for quote-unquote easy loading. I don't know if that's really required in a 32 ACP pistol, except for the fact that this slide seems almost inhuman to be able to rack. So maybe it's just a function of the design that you need to do it. Now, what I loved about the Tomcat in 32 is that they also had options with threaded barrels. And I know you're thinking, what the hell? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I carried this is a 1914 manufacturer, I'll have to look at the date, 1914 manufacturer Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless and 32 ACP with a dead air Odessa 9 that I've shortened down to a warranty voiding one extra baffle on the end. And I'm going to tell you, this pistol suppressed is an unbelievable hoot to shoot, and it's actually not bad to carry. I've got a jacket. I'll link to another video that I did with Eli on our Alchemy channel. Pocket. And this is my 1923 manufacturer. I'm sorry, 1923 manufacturer Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless. About carrying and shooting this pistol, I am getting to be more and more a fan of pocket pistols, and the subcompact genre still just is not my thing. Hopefully this makes 32 ACP a round that ammo manufacturers will develop and spend more time on developing, bringing them to more rounds to market and making it more available. So I think that's very, very cool. The pricing on it, they started in the mid fives, went up to $650, I think. Now they had one out there with a thread on, or with a compensator and an extended magazine, all kinds of weird shit. I talked to the guy at Beretta and he's like, yeah, we just told our designer and machinist to go crazy, come up with something cool. This is not going to be released. And I'm like, good, because it doesn't really make sense. But overall, very cool gun, double action, single action, I believe. And very, very excited. This is something to pick up because what I found is, you know, if you're not going to carry a full-size gun, carrying a pocket pistol, this is for something where maybe you're in a suit or you just are dressed up and you're going to a place where maybe they're going to be a little more strict on security, if you will, as far as what you're carrying. It's going to be not a soft target because of the strict security that they have there. Metal detectors, whatnot. I'm not telling you to break the law, but the ability to conceal a very small pistol, even smaller than this, in your pocket is something that you might want to consider for just such an occasion. In fact, the show that's after SHOT Show that I'm really excited about going to every year is the Antique Arms Show. They also have the Figa Master Engraver, the Figa Engraving Show that's there. It's very cool, and I picked up this Colt 1908 Vest Pocket in 25 ACP. This is such a cool little gun, and this is the kind of thing that, you know, if you needed to be able to hide it somewhere, where if you got wanded by a metal detector, they might just think it's a belt buckle. It might pass through all those things. Having something this small for such an occasion might come in handy. So pocket pistols, I think, should definitely make a comeback, and it's cool to see Beretta doing that. I picked this up. This is cool. Expect to see videos actually shooting this, maybe some ballistic tests with 25 ACP in the future, but a very cool gun. The blued finish on it is awesome. So thumbs up to Beretta for doing something different and taking a trend kind of to its nth degree. But it's cool that they're doing that. Next, I saw the Daniel Defense H9, which, if you know anything about it, there was a company a few years ago, Hudson, that came up with the design for the H9, which was to do what many people have attempted to do in the past, and that's take Glock reliability and 1911 ergonomics and trigger and have them kith and make a baby. Well, Hudson had some issues with, like a lot of gun companies do when they're growing, just financing, getting the gun to market, spent a lot of money on marketing, and the company basically went belly up after the first few guns went out. Well, Daniel Defense has been looking for a pistol to bring to market for a while, and doing something new costs millions and millions of dollars to develop. And Daniel Defense saw this as an opportunity to pick up the IP and make some changes, make it better, learn from before, and bring out a pistol. So here's what I really think about it. I am not a striker fire guy, so this is not a pistol I'm ever going to purchase. However, if you are in the striker fired market and you want something that has a little bit better ergonomics that's out there, this is something to consider in a year. Okay, and I'll qualify that for a second. First off, we need to get production examples out into people's hands to see how well it's actually working, and to see, you know, the quirks that are in it, and really have the market test it and see what the market thinks. Is this really a cool pistol? So that's number one. Number two is a holster and accessory support. So the Hudson H9 wasn't popular enough to really get good holster support. Dana Defense is offering holsters on their website, so there are going to be some options available, but you know, your most popular companies aren't going to be having holsters right away. Also, it is a short barrel. I think it's 4-ish inches, 4 1/4. I'll have to look that up real quick and put it on the screen. But to do that and then carry with a full-size Surefire weapon light, which is really what I recommend people to carry because of the throw and the beam that you get out of a full-size Surefire, you know, an X300 U or Turbo. That's going to be the kind of light pushing you want. Holster selections might be slim for a while. Also, the trigger. So the big thing that they talk about is a 1911 trigger in a striker fire gun with low, you know, bore axis. I think the whole bore axis thing, you know, CZ really talks about that, is overblown. You know, good grip can definitely mitigate any difference in bore axis. And I do think that using a 1911 trigger system where the bow pushes straight back is cool because it eliminates some of the slop that you'll have in Glock triggers and other striker fire guns. But they went and did something weird on the Hudson, and it's still here, which is this hinged trigger safety, where it's hinged at the bottom, and you have to really pull this trigger safety all the way in. And that's going to be, it actually gives you kind of like a first uptake, or first take up, and then you pull it in more, there's a second take up, and then there's a wall, and then the trigger drop, and then the striker fires as you're pulling that striker back. So you have the fact that the trigger is going straight back. However, the trigger safety, you have to pull it up, so you're still kind of having a little bit of a hinge deal there. So felt a little bit weird in the hands. However, the ergonomics overall, much better than any Glock or Glock-ish guns. Now, there are a lot of other guns out there, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0s, that are also ergonomically, I think, a little bit better than Glocks. So why would you choose this over that? Right now, I don't know. It's kind of a flex thing. It's the newest, latest, greatest. You're going to see a lot of YouTubers posting about it coming, you know, in the coming weeks, and a lot of them already have because they have pre-production samples. But it's a cool gun nonetheless. At $1,300, is it $1,300 cool? Maybe. You know, like I said, it's something that I'd wait to see in a year. And at that price point, you could pick up a Prodigy, and then if that one doesn't work, you know, return it and then pick up another Prodigy, and maybe that one will work, or whatever. You know, they have some issues, but at $1,300, I would rather have a 2011 style pistol that I just replace some of the MIM parts in, and have something that runs and actually has true 1911 ergonomics and trigger and ignition system. Personally, that's what I would do there. The last thing that I'm going to talk about from SHOT Show is Palmetto State Armory, PSA. The thing that I like to see is retro style guns, not really clones because they're not clone correct, but being able to satisfy the casual cloner market with stuff like their PSA Saber 10, the M110-ish gun. I know it's been out for a while, and I know people have had problems with it, but there were just clone-ish guns after clone-ish gun coming out of PSA, and that's just cool. Now, your Saber 10s are like $1,200 and $1,300 MSRP, so that is very inexpensive. You should not expect top-tier performance out of them, but you're going to get the general look and feel of a clone gun. Maybe replace a few parts, a couple $100. You know, maybe you got gas blocks that you got to do. Gas journals might be under-drilled. So yeah, you're going to spend a little bit of money to get them running perfectly, but still way less than going and building your own clone correct gun. So if you're super into clone correct stuff, you're not going to like it. I'm a big fan. Keep going, PSA, do rad stuff. It was just, I mean, all kinds of cool things that were coming out of them. So that's really it for SHOT Show. I mean, there was a lot of other things, but it was all really just different iterations of the same thing over and over again. But what's really cool is the Antique Arms Show, where I picked up this 25 ACP 1908 vest pocket, because I also grabbed another member of the 1903, the Colt 1903 Pocket Hammerless, a 1908 Pocket Hammerless. This one is chambered in 380. So I was able to find this. The bluing's in pretty good shape, but I can't wait to shoot this and see how it is next to the 32 ACP version, because really, I mean, something like this, this is a pocket gun that you could carry in your, you know, your vest pocket of your suit and have a lot of fun with it. So expect to see videos of this in the future. Now, overall, just an update on the channel going forward. Like I said before, videos are going to be short. This one's carrying on a little bit long because there's a lot of things to talk about at SHOT Show. They're going to be short. They're going to be succinct. Not a lot of you know, videos, cutaways, and music. Just to the point information. I actually had a few people come up at SHOT Show and recognize and ask, like, you know, I haven't seen an upload in a while. Where have you been? And I've been busy. And the crazy thing is, the channel reached a little over 10,000 subscribers in the last year without me even doing anything. So thank you to everyone that subscribed. You know, if this is your first notification since then, welcome. I will be back. I'll be more consistent, but this, like I said, is just something for fun. And next, we're going to be talking about a whole gaggle of suppressors. So that'll be coming soon. So anyways, SHOT Show 2024, it's about what you'd expect.